Recognized for 3 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand to speak in support of Title 11, the Grazing Improvement Act of 2012. Livestock grazing is an important part of the rich ranching tradition in America. One need look no further than the iconic images of cowboys driving the huge herds of cattle across open land to realize how big a part ranching has played in American history. Today, my home state of Idaho produces some of the world's finest tasting lamb and beef, which makes its way to dinner tables across America and as far away as Korea. Food production is a major part of Idaho's history and is an integral part of our cultural fabric and our economic security. These traditions are under attack, and we must preserve them for future generations. Ranchers are proud stewards of the land. Their reputation and financial security depend on this basic fact. Yet the process to review the very permits which allow them to produce food has become severely backlogged due to lawsuits aimed at eliminating livestock from public lands. The local federal land managing offices, staffed by fine men and women, cannot keep up with the pace of litigation and endless environmental analysis. This diverts the already limited resources from these offices and leaves ranchers at risk of losing their grazing permits and jeopardizing their livelihoods. Agriculture is a difficult way to make a living, but producers choose this path because it is their livelihood, their passion, and their way of life. When my constituent, a Owyhee County rancher, Brenda Richards, testified on behalf of H.R. 4234 in March, she talked not just about the efficiencies the bill would bring to the overall system, providing cost savings to taxpayers, but she passionately expressed the unstable situation facing ranchers like her. 78% of Owyhee County is public land, making local ranchers and the county economy dependent on reliable yet responsible access to public land forage. According to Richards, ranchers not only face uncertainty each year about whether permits will be renewed, they're also being threatened with new bureaucratic red tape when it comes to crossing and trailing their animals across public lands. Radical special interest litigants have driven the agencies to consider this low-impact activity a major agency action that requires full environmental analysis under NEPA. The Grazing Improvement Act of 2012 would accomplish 3 important things. First, it extends livestock grazing permits from 10 to 20 years in order to give producers adequate stability. Second, it also reduces the workload on overburdened federal land managers on the local level and allows them to get out of the field where they belong. And finally, the legislation includes bipartisan language to encourage land managers to use existing tools in order to expedite permit processing. We can be good stewards of our land and resources without hurting American ranchers. We must alleviate the problems caused by a tedious bureaucratic process created only to respond to the litigious environmental agenda. We can no longer allow the federal government to maintain an enormous backlog in processing grazing permits. My legislation aims to ensure grazing certainty and stability for America's livestock producers. Our ranchers depend upon it. I urge my colleagues to support this common sense legislation. I yield the remainder of my time.
Gentleman's time has expired.